Welcome to Family Access Network's Tea with an Advocate. We started this video series a few months ago so we could bring the FAN school tours to you while the pandemic was going on. Since the public wasn't allowed into public schools, we still thought it was crucial for us to bring the stories and more information about the really important work our advocates do every day. Our 26 advocates in Central Oregon have already served over 5,000 individuals this school year, connecting them to crucial resources such as food, utility assistance, shelter, school supplies, and much more. The end of this school year is wrapping up, and we have one more advocate for you to meet before the school year ends. Today, we are going to have a short conversation with Dawn Cooper with the Sisters School District in Tea with an Advocate. So sit back, relax, and join us as we chat with Dawn. Hi, Dawn. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for joining me for Tea with an Advocate. You are going to be our fourth episode for Tea with an Advocate, and so we're really thrilled to have you here. Today, what kind of tea are you drinking, or coffee today?
Well, I am a coffee girl, so it is straight coffee for me.
Perfect. This is a great way just to have a quick conversation with our advocates, get to know what you do, and kind of the important work that you do out in Sisters. So let's jump in. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Dawn, and how long you've been with FAN and what schools you assist at. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, I am a FAN advocate of 15 years this year, and I work at all three schools in Sisters, middle school, high school, and elementary. We only have 3 schools here. And then Sisters is a little bit more unique since we are kind of a little bit removed from most services. We also provide some assistance to members in our community. So as my partner Teresa that I work with here says, we serve from the womb to the tomb.
That's a great phrase. And how long has Teresa been an advocate there?
Teresa's been an advocate for 25 years this
Ooh.
year. Yeah, so it's incredible to work with someone who's been a part of this organization from the inception. And she is just phenomenal and been a member of the community for a long time. I've lived in Sisters for 16 years, transplant from Portland.
Mhm.
And we moved over here. We have 2 children who were in elementary and middle school when we moved here. They're now currently, as of a couple of days ago and this Sunday, 28 and 26.
Nice. And
Mhm.
what led you to start with FAN?
Well, coming from Portland, I worked with the Multnomah Education School District over there with pretty at-risk and high risk, not pretty at risk, very high at-risk kids. And so when we moved over here, I was very hopeful to find another organization that maybe worked with that population or just worked with families that might need some assistance, kind of familiar with my background. And I found out about FAN and was lucky enough to move into this position. There was a temporary position open for a short time that I subbed in for about less than a year. And then the advocate that was here moved on, and I applied for her position and got it. So I'm very fortunate.
And 15 years later, here you are.
15 years later, here I am. Yeah.
Perfect. Can you describe a little bit of kind of what a day looks like for you and what it really means to be an advocate and what FAN means to you?
Well, and you're going to hear this from every single advocate that you ask that question to. Every day is different, as you know. Some days are quieter than others, but I'm going to speak a little bit more towards this year because we are in a pandemic and it's been unusual. So our office, as most advocates' offices, have been closed to the public all year. So we've had to reinvent how we do our intake process or meet with families in a safe environment and to be able to still provide services that we would do in a normal school year. So typical day here is we're either meeting with families on the phone, following up with emails and texts, and then meeting them outside of the building to provide some paperwork maybe that needs to get signed or some hygiene items that need to be given out. So it's a lot less personal communication than what we're used to, having families and kids have the ability to come into the office and sit down and have that one-on-one. It's been difficult to navigate, but not undoable. It's something we can definitely do. Just miss that contact directly with families and with kids. The hugs from the littles.
We will get there soon, hopefully.
Yeah, we
Fingers
sure hope
crossed.
so.
Yeah. It sounds like the year has been a challenge for everybody. We've had to pivot. Is there a family or a story or something that kind of has touched you the most in this last year, or even prior to this, that is a reminder of why you do what you do?
So I have two kids that I every time I reflect on why do I do what I do, what does it mean to be a fan advocate? I have two kiddos who they're adults now. They've graduated from college, but they started as a elementary school students here, and we worked with them from early on until they graduated. So school supplies, school clothes, scholarships for sports or positive youth development, helping their families with utility assistance or some other issues that have probably propped up through the years. And actually both of these students became unaccompanied youth in their high school career. So they were living with friends or bouncing off of couches and staying with other students. So they ended up getting some different services through FAN and through McKinney-Vento to get them through those high school years. Um, Working with them with their FAFSA applications and seeing that they actually could just get to school every day and process. And they both graduated, went on to college with great scholarships, and have one of them is now married and has an incredible job. The other young lady is living her dream, has a great job, has reunified with her family, and just giving back to her community that she lives in now. She donates to nonprofits in her community. It's very important to her after what she experienced in her life to be an adult and give back. It's incredible to see where the kids had started to where they're at now in their late 20s. It's awesome.
I think it's great that you've known them for so long, and that even after they graduate, you stay in touch with them to kind of see the,
Still to this day.
yeah,
Yeah, I get to talk to both of them, and they love keeping me informed on where they're at in their life, and I love to hear about it.
that's wonderful. You,
Yeah.
a lot of times when we think of FAN, we do think of those essential and crucial resources: food, utility assistance, rent assistance, school supplies. You touched on positive youth development. How do you see that service? Can you describe it? And how do you see that playing into that success to graduate and post graduation?
Yeah, certainly. Positive youth development could kind of just be a number of many things, but we look at it as being able to provide a scholarship so that kids can participate in sports in school or outside of school in a sport that they're passionate about, that's really giving them that opportunity to grow. Art therapy or music lessons, dance lessons, anything that's going to positively affect these kids that normally maybe wouldn't have the opportunity to participate in these events. And it gets them out of the house and they have a place to go and they're learning team building and they've got coaches and other mentors that are part of their lives. So it's just very important piece that I think we can offer kids to continue to grow and find their passion in something.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on that, because that is as part of that building block of development, having
Mhm.
those creative outlets and having that mentorship, coaches,
Yes,
music instructors is really important for them. Um,
definitely.
we definitely, I could see as part of that positive youth development and the other services, partnerships are very important for FAN. With some of those positive youth development and other situations, who has been super supportive and that you work with on a pretty regular basis?
So in Sisters, we're really very fortunate to have a large group in town that we can work with. The Sisters Folk Festival, oh, cannot say enough about what an incredible group that is. They offer so many programs for kids through art and through music especially. And they hold weekend events that promote kids getting together with instructors to learn and to build, and they have provided scholarships for our kids to be a part of those programs. And they have a luthier program at our high school as well, so kids can build a guitar, they can build a ukulele, they can build an Adirondack chair, and then be part of the Americana Project, which is, it just is an amazing place for kids to be. And then we have the Sisters Dance Academy, where our kiddos can learn to take hip hop or ballet and learn skills and then be a part of this incredible collective group. And we have our Sisters Park and Recreation District, who offers different events, camps, and sports for kids. Of course, our sports within our school district that we're also very fortunate to have. And Bald Eagle Music, where Miss Becky teaches incredible music lessons to kiddos, and she is just a wonderful mentor. And so is Miss Lonnie over at Sisters Dance Academy that I just spoke of. So we're really fortunate to have those groups here in Sisters.
Yeah, it sounds like it, especially for a cute little community like Sisters. Everyone pulling together for
Yes,
children in the community is really touching.
definitely.
So before we wrap up, a few last things. This year has been an interesting year, one like no other. Can you reflect on how this year has been? And since the school year is wrapping up, kind of what do you hope for the future for FAN in the summer and next year?
My biggest hope is that our families will continue to thrive. Even in this pandemic, they were able to really rise above all of the frustration and the many difficult things that came at everybody with losing their jobs or having to work from home, readjust that schedule with their kids being home constantly, or parents still having to work and kids being home doing their schoolwork. And I am encouraged by how strong our kids are. I'm hopeful that moving forward, going back to school, towards the end of the school year, that it'll bring a little bit of hope for all of them and for all of us moving forward, getting back into some source of normalcy so we can be together again face to face and continue to do the work that we're here to do. Um, Even in a pandemic, it didn't stop us. So I'm really proud of my fellow advocates, and the work that they did in this situation was amazing because it's difficult to navigate resources on a normal cycle, and then you throw a pandemic in it where places are closed. You no longer have the ease of access sometimes of getting families into things. um, it's been a map to follow, that's for certain, and I'm glad that we're here to help navigate that with our families.
I am constantly amazed by you and the 25 other advocates that we have. And we say a lot that the advocates are the heart of FAN because you navigate resources, anything for the families in need. So I really appreciate you taking a chunk of your day to talk with me about it. And let's hope next school year is back to somewhat normal.
Boy, we sure hope so, don't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And anything else you want to tell our viewers before we say goodbye for the episode and for the season?
Well, we truly appreciate all your support. Whenever you make a donation to FAN, you are making an incredible difference in the life of a child. So we thank you for that, for always looking out for our families, for our kids. And to my fellow advocates, you are all angels, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So thanks for taking the time today, Jen, to
Of
talk.
course. Yeah. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks. You too.
Thanks, Dawn, for joining me with Tea with an Advocate. And for those of you that watched, thank you. We're so grateful that you have spent the time to watch these videos so you can learn more about FAN and our amazing advocates. If you want to learn more about what we do have a website, familyaccessnetwork.org, and we can be found on social media on Facebook and on Instagram. Our handle is @FamilyAccessNetwork. Until next time, thank you, and we so appreciate your support. Enjoy your day. Bye.